Great beer is about sitting back, letting go, and enjoying what's in front of you. I used to say this when I managed a bar. It was a great job, but there were problems. The stress from the bar and my family was adding up. I was unhappy at work, and this unhappiness bled into my home life. I felt that I was the only one who could do things right. I needed a hobby to help me relax. I chose homebrewing. I read everything that I could, I made an equipment list, and I brewed for the first time on November 3rd, 2013. At this point, I was hooked. I kept meticulous notes and made adjustments. I was proud, and I had something that was mine. It was my escape. Months progressed, and beers came and went. My job was just as stressful. I took on too much responsibility without delegating any of it, which led to me being fired in June of 2014. Because I was trying to do too much by myself, I was no longer excelling at anything. It happened, and it hurt. The worst aspect of all of this is that I had time to think about what went wrong. I obsessed about this, and although the stress of my job was gone, I was not any happier. Time passed and I held on to my hobby, but there was no joy. I wanted every brew to be perfect. I poured over every aspect. I thought about everything that could go wrong. This was no longer serving as a hobby. Instead, it was a source of stress. I kept at it, and with one batch, everything was going great up to the point of fermentation. The first level of fermentation is vigorous. Within the first 24 hours, I should have seen millions of bubbles rising through the beer, but there were no bubbles. The wort just sat there, cloudy. I spent hours staring at the carboy, trying to will the yeast into action. I could not understand what had gone wrong. What aspect did I overlook? It consumed me until the next day when the bubbles were there. The yeast was doing its job and the beer turned out great. I had to wait for the yeast, which was out of my control. This non-orthodox action of the yeast forced me to contemplate my role in making beer. I can only affect the affectable. During this time, I made the career transition to teaching. Yet it was not until this revelation that I could truly appreciate what I was doing. I used to become easily frustrated with students. However, after this, I was able to take comfort in controlling what I was able to control and not worrying about the uncontrollable. Being able to take this new attitude into a profession where I am responsible for the growth of over 100 students a year was the final lesson that I needed. Today, I have a new career, a wonderful family, and a hobby. I can relax. If I work on creating the environment for anything that I do, then I can sit back and watch what happens. George Bernard Shaw said, "People become attached to their burdens sometimes more than the burdens are attached to them." Now, I heed my own advice. Sit back with a great homebrew, let go, and enjoy what is in front of me.